barely hear from me like I ain't got a phone. Because there's no days off, there's no days off. I know it sounds a little painful, but it pays off. Social sites was distracting, so
Gordon's got the ground game. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018...
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken short, and they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers a week ago for Melvin Gordon. 20 carries, 83 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
He finds his target, Fuller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, down at the 31.
Ready, blue lady.
Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
2nd down, Winston. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Jameis to throw it. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Well, when you think of these 2 teams, 2 franchises, Baltimore and Oakland, Charles, what comes to mind?
Well, the ghost to the post in the late 1970s, but remember, that was the Baltimore Colts who are now in Indianapolis. These are the Ravens who came from Cleveland and formerly were the Browns.
They also have some history, though. The Ravens, between these 2 teams, won an AFC championship game in 2001. Also beat a Derek Carless Raiders 30-17 in Oakland a year ago.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Flush to his right. And avoids the contact by sliding. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
On the carry, it's Hightower. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. 3rd down here.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Here's Jackson to throw. And Ingram hauls it in. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Jackson from the shotgun. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And Jackson throwing once more, rolling to his right. That is caught by Williams for a Raider touchdown. Max Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in. For 6. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken very short. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We got to get it back.
They go play action here on first down. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Caught right side, Gresham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw is Winston. It's brought in by Doxson. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up and making sure it was a catch.
So they don't even need to run a second down play. Give them the first.
And typically when we see this jumping, isn't it usually third down, fourth down? They got them on second down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
Winston now. Looking left sideline, incomplete. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll throw again. Winston. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Nelson Aguilar with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are in for 6. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, That's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, here's Jackson again. Nowhere to go here, he lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. Just didn't work.
Not at all. And the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person. No one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close and close quickly.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. It's hauled in by Ellington. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a 1st down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say punt the football there.
So we're changing the analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them, and really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance. Ellington has it, middle of the field. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56.
To throw again, Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Evan Ingram in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
That's one of the better examples.
Oh, this is blocked. So we've reached halftime with a visit. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the 2nd half is now underway. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. I'd call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence. To go ahead and run the football in that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Detroit!
Play action. It's Jackson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Anthony Hitchens leading the surge there. He drops it for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones maybe you bring it.
And he's going to go down again. Malcolm Smith. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim.
Detroit! All right, here we go. Blue landing!
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. He completes it to Bryant. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. There's Perkins on 1st down. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. On 1st down, back to Perkins. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay. They go play action with Jackson. His throw caught at about the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A very solid gain of 27. First and goal, Perkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Paul Perkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And it's incomplete. Tremont Williams there to break that one up.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Yes, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And an alley to run. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go!
1st down, Kaiser. And his throw here's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go! White, 90!
From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. Turnover that just got him the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, though?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
Jackson. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. On the give, it's Perkins. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on second down. Flushed out right. And some room to work. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Detroit!
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And Ingram pulls it in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You start to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On second down, Perkins. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Now Jackson being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Bryant with a catch right side. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Here's Jackson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Malcolm Smith in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The decision to go for it on fourth has worked out twice on this drive already. Here we go again on fourth down.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Detroit! Detroit! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Fourth down, here's Jackson. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
And they're down to 17 seconds now here after the spike. And they don't get the reception. Incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Here's Kaiser. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter. Here trying to preserve the lead.
Let's go! What? 90!
Kaiser. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. One final shot for Kaiser. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Oakland, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, alongside Charles Davis.